Most people never allow themselves to create things they really want unless lots of others have already created it and it looks really easy. In other words, don't let your belief about it be based upon how many others are doing it. Let your belief about it be based upon how much airtime you give it and how familiar you become with it and how easy it is for you to think the thought because you've got enough momentum going about that thought. You could pick the wildest things and practice the thought until they feel normal, and it will manifest in your life, and other people go, whoa, how did you do that? No one's ever done that. And you say, what's that got to do with anything? What I create doesn't have to do with anything. I'm not regurgitating. I'm creating. I am a creator. I am a perceiver of the new. I'm taking thought and experience beyond that which it has ever been before. I'm determined to be in the middle of a relationship with someone who I adore and not trample her toes of freedom, to allow her to be and do and have everything that she wants while I enhance her experience by the clarity of mine. That's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to have a unique relationship. My relationship's not going to be based upon the bondage that I need to apply to you. You know, if you do that, I feel insecure, so please don't do any of that. In fact, I've been searching the whole world for someone who would behave just in the way I need them to behave so that I can feel good. And I think you're it. You're close to it, but you got to work really hard to please me. Just running, screaming into the woods. I wasn't born to please you. I innately know that I must be pleased. I must be pleased, you see. So how do you teach someone else to be pleased? By you being pleased. Not by changing conditions that bring pleasure, by finding pleasure that bring conditions. That's deliberate creating, you see. If you are enjoying the evolution of your own desire, that does mean you're keeping up with it. It means that you are identifying through the variety that you are living new desires, and that there is not a big gap in terms of what you believe about it. Because if you have a desire that you doubt, you're not enjoying the expansion of your desire. If you have a desire that you believe, then you are. And a belief's just a thought you keep thinking, isn't it? So the key to the happy life that you want and that you deserve is to allow the contrast to continue to hatch new desires within you. In fact, those are not exactly the best chosen words, because you can't help but allow the contrast to cause your desire to expand, because it's just going to happen. You can't slow that down. That momentum you started even before you came into this physical body. That's why you came into this physical body. So that's a long time momentum that you're not going to slow down. You're hatching desires constantly. But there is a big question. Are you keeping up with the desires that are being hatched from the life that you are living? Are you keeping up with it? Which means, do you ask for something, I'd like more money, and then do you contradict that desire all day long with facts? Don't have enough, never had enough, don't know anybody who's got enough, tired of not having enough, wish I had more, not fair that I don't have enough, life is hard. If you're contradicting your desire with statements of fact, now we really want you to hear that, because what is always 100% of the time contradicts the newest leading edge desire that you have launched. What is always contradicts what's in the process of becoming, because what's in the process of becoming is uniquely new. So anytime you're focused upon what is, you're slowing down what's coming. Now, let's be clear about this. By the what is that we just meant just now when we said what is, that what is the what is that you usually mean when you say what is, which is what is already materialized, what is already manifested, or a better way of saying it is, what is it that other people can see about my life experience? What has materialized, manifest, actualized to the point that we are interpreting it through our physical senses? So we want to help you to understand that yes, you create your own reality, and yes, you can control the vibration that you're offering, and yes, if you do it in the early stages of momentum, it's easier. The thing we most want you to understand is that while you are sleeping, your momentum subsides. So every morning when you awaken, you have the opportunity to begin the momentum the way you want it to begin. You can send it off in the direction of your desire. Sometimes, usually, often, every morning when you wake up, we're so funny. When you wake up in the morning, often you begin the thought process from where it was before. It's sort of like reorienting yourself. Oh yeah, here I am. Esther quite often is wondering where she is when she wakes up. Bathroom is hard to find when it's in a different place every day. So you wake up and you orient yourself about where you are. And then you usually begin the activation of the things that were going on yesterday, which means there is a continuum from day to day that doesn't change, but it could if you wanted it to. And these are some of the things that we want to visit with you about today. We want you to leave here knowing for sure that you do create your own reality, because you do emit a signal, and because law of attraction responds to the signal, and that things that then match that signal are then realized by you. We want you to leave here today knowing that you are a transmitting and receiving mechanism, and that the thoughts that you think you're thinking are thoughts that in some cases you are projecting, but in most cases you are receiving, because there are not original thoughts. Now there are too many thoughts have been thought. There is too much momentum in the thinking. The evolution of who you are is so far down the road. You are pure positive energy. You are genius creators in these magnificent bodies. You are here creating your own reality with great reason and purpose. And the momentum that has come before is this wonderful ride that is carrying all of us forward, forward, forward. So you are not thinking new thoughts, but you are choosing the direction of the thoughts that are being received by you. Just like tuning your dial. Esther listens to Pulse Radio. She really likes the variety that is there. She has a lot of preset buttons in her cars, and every now and again she just pushes another button and pushes another button and pushes another button, but she's pretty sure of generally what's going to come. She's choosing in some ways a little bit of momentum with lots of options to make new decisions along the way. And that's the thing that we want you to understand. You've got a lot of preset buttons, and some of them are serving you really well, some of them not so well. So go there. Think about how that feels. Think about how that feels. Think about it when you first wake up in the morning. Think about how that feels. Get some momentum going on that for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 30 days. Get some momentum going about that. And then watch the way you begin realizing entirely different scenarios, because your point of attraction shifted, and so therefore what you attracted shifted. So now, here's something else, and this is really good. You're really, really going to like this. So, as you got that just now, you all felt it in one way or another. And it sort of gave you a sense of, here I am, the center of my universe, and I'm attracting from the environment around me these kinds of people: clear-minded, fun, inspired, creative, happy, expansive, others. Ooh, doesn't that feel like a good crowd? Mm-hmm. Oh, there you are. So it feels interesting that here I am, a person, and I've attracted a person, a person, a person, a person, a person, and I got a good party going on. What we would like you to realize is that there's a potential party in everybody you know. So when you get there, then you attract it from that one and that one. In other words, you're not looking for a whole different group of people. You're not reaching into the universe and selectively sifting through people to bring different people to you. You are tuning yourself to the attraction of the best of all of them. And we want you to give yourself credit for who you've already assembled, because you haven't been making mistakes. Nothing's going wrong. You're in the process of molding this into place. And there is so much positive momentum in every single relationship you have that with a little tuning, you can tune it into something that will be really delightful for both of you, you see. But the key is, you got to stop asking them to make the changes. You got to make them. You got to find the emotional change in yourself. And some of them, they will come with you. They'll come with you. Some of them will bounce off and go somewhere else because it's just too big of a gap. But most of the people you know will come with you. Most will, because you've already vetted them. They came to you. You've been a positive attractor for a long time. Every one of you has been a positive attractor for a long time. You're just freaking out in the specifics of it. Do you see what we're getting at? Yeah. You're freaking out in the manifestational phases of it because you have a misunderstanding of how this works. So you've been attracting all of these wonderful people around you, and then you say, oh, these aren't the scenarios that I want. And then you get really specific about the stuff you don't want, and you put your umbrella up, and even though they're there, ready to deliver to you the love and the clarity that you want, because their inner beings are there with them, wanting to give you the part of them that you most want, you don't let it in because you are predisposed to who they are. Ooh, do you know how many opinions or attitudes you have about people around you that do not then let them give who they really are and what you really want from them to you? Because your perspective of who they are is already so cemented in terms of your vibrational practice, that even though all of them wants to give you something different, you don't let that part in. You only let the parts in that you've practiced. People will rise or lower to your expectations 100% of the time. That's how powerful you are. Esther was thinking the other day, I know I have a lot of beliefs. There are a lot of things that Jerry and I discovered together about our life, about our work, about the world. She said, I wonder if I've got beliefs that are not serving me, that I just keep carrying forward because it's the habit. And so she started then evaluating this situation through the beliefs that she held, because it's quite easy to get set in your ways, isn't it? It's quite easy to decide, well, that always means that, and that always means that. It is easier to have policies. It is easier to be set in your ways. It is easier to have decided things. But you didn't come as a regurgitator. You didn't come to accept a bunch of rules or requirements or regulations or beliefs that others have established. You didn't come just to accept them and focus upon them and prove the validity of someone else's beliefs. You are the creator of your own reality. You came to prove the validity of your beliefs. You came to allow the universe to show you, first of all, your worthiness, your deservability, your blessedness, how you are loved. First, that's what you came to remember. And next, you came to utilize this time-space reality with all of its variety, all of its contrast, all of its pieces and colors and textures, all of the deliciousness of this time-space reality. You came to use this palette of sight and sound and feel and taste. You came to experience your version of all of this as a creator, not as an observer. As a creator, not as a regurgitator. As a creator. So, well, the thing is, at the heart of every religion is a vibrational basis. But a lot of religions as they exist today have morphed in terms of the way people are translating it way past the vibrational basis. So people are actually using the word love while they've got hate in their heart. So they're talking about love all the time, but they're not loving while they're talking about it. They're feeling hate. And the reason they're feeling hate is because before they felt hate, they felt fear. Before they felt hate, they felt fear, and hate's just an improvement over the fear that they were feeling. They felt vulnerable. They felt not enough. They felt defensive. They felt guarded. They felt disadvantaged, you see. Well, the very fact that they can feel so disadvantaged speaks to the true advantage they have, doesn't it? The very fact that they can feel such fear or hate speaks to the love that is truly who they are, doesn't it? But how are you going to get there from there? Well, you just can't continue to beat the drum of what's gone wrong, and can't continue to beat the drum of what's wrong with you and you and you. You can't continue to rail against diversity when diversity is the basis of all that you are. You got to bless your differences that have caused your nowness, you see. We have enjoyed this interaction more than words can convey. It's powerful. This is co-creating at its best. The best of you rendezvousing and bringing the rest of you up to speed. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain stubbornly in your vortex.